I was just jogging in the rich neighborhood, and then 2 white police officers noticed me.
Hey! What's up?
Up against the wall.
What's the problem?
Up against the wall.
Hey, take it easy, all right?
Against the wall! Go. Spread your legs. Spread them!
I was about to explain, but they just told me to shut up. After a thorough search, they found my ID and realized I was also a cop. I turned around and glared at them angrily, but the white officers still looked at me with disdain.
Must be new. Have a nice day.
Watching the police car drive away, I felt extremely angry. I couldn't believe after 5 years that racial discrimination here was still so serious. I then went to the station, put on my bulletproof vest, and began patrolling with my partner John. That's when a young black guy caught my attention. His eyes were full of hostility, and I felt really confused. John then explained to me that the area used to have many people living here, but now it was no longer managed. Even if a black person here called the police, we wouldn't respond. We then went to a store. John grabbed some coffee and bread and was about to leave. I looked at the powerless shop owner and felt a bit awkward.
How much do we owe?
Don't worry about it.
That's all right.
Cops don't pay. You good.
I understood what the shop owner meant. He just didn't dare take money from the police, so I stuffed the money into the jar and turned to leave. The shop owner was stunned by my actions. After work, my partner and I returned to the station and started uploading our patrol footage. That's when my supervisor suddenly arrived and told me to follow Jack to the crime scene. I hurriedly headed out. When I arrived at the scene, it was complete chaos. I immediately stepped forward and restrained the suspect, but then a young black guy quietly approached. Jack sensed something was off.
You out here trying to get something out of what? You out here like that? Huh? Get us down the hood. Man, you ain't put your hands on the car. You know who I am, man? I told you put your hand down, man. What I tell you, pussy cop? I said stay. Hey, man. I will pop you right here.
That's enough! Bro, that is enough! Stop!
But when Jack found a gun on him, I instantly understood everything. He was planning to kill me, so I apologized to Jack afterward.
Sorry to get your ass killed out here. Let me ask you a question. You think you black? Think them your people? Well, they're not. We are. You're blue now. Don't you ever forget that.
The next day, Jack told me he was going to meet an informant. I originally wanted to go with him, but Jack told me to stay in the car, so I just stared out the window bored. Suddenly, I noticed a black guy sneaking up to the front car. I immediately got out and shouted at him. Without hesitation, he turned and ran. I was about to activate the body cam and chase him, but then I heard a gunshot. I thought something had happened to Jack, so I immediately ran toward the factory. I quickly made it inside, and when I heard voices, I quietly moved toward the sound. Then I discovered 2 bodies lying nearby, and Jack with 2 narcotics officers, arguing with a black man. But then one of the narcotics officers suddenly fired his gun.
Doing it? I thought I told you to stay in the car. What are you doing here? Just relax.
To stay young and gorgeous, I blew all my savings on a so-called miracle potion, and just a few seconds later, my dry, wrinkled hands turned silky smooth, my sagging chest perked right back up, and even my flat butt magically filled out. Again, staring at my new perfect body in the mirror, I felt unbelievably thrilled. I couldn't wait to rush home and show my husband. I even slipped into a sexy low-cut dress for the big reveal, but he'd already grown sick of me long ago, even with my youth restored. He didn't budge at all. That made my blood boil, so I snapped and started yelling at him. That pushed him right over the edge. He grabbed me by the throat and shoved me straight down the stairs. By the time he came back to his senses, my body was already twisted out of shape. When he realized what he'd done, he was about to call the crematorium, but then I stood right back up and slowly walked up behind him. I meant to scold him for being so cruel, but I had no idea me head had spun around a full 180 degrees. The sight nearly scared him out of his soul. He kept begging me to spare him, only. Then did I notice something was off? My neck was twisted all the way backward. Creepier yet, I didn't feel a thing. So to fix it, I grabbed my neck with both hands and twisted hard. My head snapped right back to the front. My husband panicked and rushed me to the hospital. But after running some tests, even the doctor was completely stunned. Not only could I feel no pain, my heart had already stopped beating. Everything pointed to one fact: I was technically a corpse. Hearing that made me faint on the spot. Later, my husband secretly took me out of the morgue and used his plastic surgery skills to spray on skin tone paint to keep me looking alive. But right then, my best friend Anna showed up. My husband instantly panicked. To keep me from finding out about their relationship, he told her to come back later, but neither of them knew. I heard every word, so I calmly stepped out in front of them. While Anna wasn't looking, I pulled out a gun and blasted her away in an instant. The sudden scene left my husband completely frozen. As we were about to clean up the mess, Anna suddenly stood up in the pool.
The doctor shaved all the hair off my body. Then he knocked out all my teeth. After that, he pushed me into a large oven with a car. Once I was neatly placed inside, he slowly closed the oven door Then he used a key to turn on the oven switch. Next, he set the temperature to 200 degrees. After 30 minutes, he opened the oven. This process could shrink a normal human being by 2,000 times in an instant. To solve the issue of overpopulation on Earth, the doctor developed a shrinking technology. It could shrink a normal person down to only 10 centimeters. This would greatly alleviate the problem of overpopulation. These people would produce less trash in 4 years than a normal human does in 1 day. The most important thing was, in this world, $1,000 was worth $10 million. A 1,000 square meter villa could be bought for only $99. I, being poor, was very tempted by this. So the next day, I took my wife to visit the miniature world, and we planned to undergo the shrinking procedure. But before shrinking, we had to shave off all our body hair. Then we had to knock out all our teeth, because teeth don't shrink. If we didn't remove them, they would explode our brains. Then we were pushed into the large oven. 30 minutes later, a group of nurses came in pushing small carts. They carefully used small shovels to lift us up, and slowly placed us on tiny beds. When I woke up, I quickly threw off the blanket. Seeing that my body was normal, I relaxed. But then my wife called. She had changed her mind while shaving her eyebrows. She didn't undergo the shrinking procedure. Hearing this, I was devastated, because the shrinking procedure is irreversible. So I went to the miniature world alone, heartbroken. It was exactly like the outside world. I then went to my villa, but not long after I received a delivery. It was a 50-carat diamond ring from my wife, along with a divorce agreement the size of the house for me to sign. At that moment, I realized I could never satisfy her again, so I signed it. Abandoned by my wife, I decided to find a new wife in the miniature world. I reached my hand into the alien armor. To my surprise, I was able to control it, but soon I began to feel intense pain. My friends were terrified. They quickly pulled me out of the armor. We tried to destroy it, but no matter what we did, the surface of the armor only showed a few scratches. What was even stranger was that once the armor came into contact with water, those scratches instantly healed. This left everyone stunned. Realizing how dangerous this armor was, we decided to hand it over to the government, but during transportation, we encountered a large group of soldiers. We tried to explain and ask for help, but we were seen as rebels, and were attacked by them. In anger, I hid the alien armor. Later, I went to find my girlfriend, but I found her with another man. Furious, I beat the man up. However, my girlfriend told me the man was an alien. This only made me angrier, so I decided to teach her a lesson. And this completely enraged the alien. He stood up and quickly knocked us down. I glared at him and started to stir up a conflict between aliens and humans, encouraging humans to destroy the alien ship. Soon the war between humans and the mechs began. On the other side, I endured the pain and put the armor back on. This time I merged with the armor. I gained unlimited power. I quickly rushed to the battlefield. However, these aliens didn't want to be enemies with humans. They desperately tried to stop humans from boarding the ship. But humans were getting more and more excited, and the army had arrived. Just then, the girl and her alien boyfriend found the general. They temporarily reached a ceasefire agreement, but when the girl and the alien headed toward the ship, we only found an angry man and a group of thugs. When I saw my girlfriend, I started a fierce chase.